As I appear before you, start to notice what impressions begin to form. What does my attire say about me? The sound of my voice, my stature, my skin color. My name is Nadine McNeil. I'm from Jamaica, where I lived until I was 16 years old. In 1982, I headed off to Ontario, Canada, first time leaving Jamaica, where I would join a private all-girls Catholic school, Holy Name of Mary High School. There were 325 students, 3 were black. Tracy, who was born in Canada, who ran track and field, myself, and my Caribbean sister, Jackie, from Grenada. And we got teased because we had this sing-songy voice. Anyway, our fellow students would often ask us, did you live in a hut in Jamaica? Or did you wear grass skirts? A couple years later, I'm living in New York City. And anyone here from New York? Yeah. So it's rush hour. I'm on the D train, and the train is packed, and we're all like this, and we're right up against each other. And I said something to the woman standing next to me, and she goes, "Bitch, get off me. Go back to your country where you came on your banana boat." And I went, oh, shit. Now, what was interesting was that woman and I shared a skin color. So then I began to understand what the term racialism means. Racialism is essentially a softer version of racism, but there are more nuances that are mixed up in it. And so began my story of internalizing, silencing stereotypes, labels, identity. This would continue throughout my life. And even when I worked at the United Nations, an organization whose premise is founded on equality and inclusion, I would meet these statements and these stereotypes and these limiting beliefs. And then when I would try to share with my colleagues my experience, I'd get about 3 responses. One would be, "Are you sure you heard correctly?" The other one would be, "Nah, that's not what they meant." The third one would be, "They must have been joking." So I was gaslit up the yin-yang. You know, coming from Jamaica, I'm an only child. I was raised by 2 married parents. And up until that point, moving to Canada and then New York, I identified with my high school, where I lived. The values my parents instilled in me were study hard, work hard, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, and for God's sakes, don't get pregnant with out of wedlock. So here we are, 2020, living while black. And we're still having these conversations. There's a tendency to be uncomfortable about having the conversations. But how do we dismantle the stereotypes without the conversations? Yes, I am a black woman. Sometimes I'm angry. Other times I'm sad. My heart breaks that we're still having this conversation 100 years after the abolition of slavery, or more. So my call to action standing here before you is that we start to pause, think about the labels that we identify ourselves with, the assumptions we make based on what people look like. Nadine McNeil, educated in Canada, the United States, and Europe. My CV arrives across your desk, and then I come through the door. Oh shit, how do I put these 2 things together? This is what happens when we fall into the danger of a single story. A Nigerian author, Chimamanda Adichie, talks about this. And she says the danger of the single story is not so much that it's inaccurate, it's the fact that it's incomplete. So we see someone, we make some decisions and assumptions about that person. We treat that person on that basis, and we've lost a whole opportunity to learn so much more. My repeated experience, no matter where I've lived in the world, is that ultimately we all want to be seen, heard, and loved. Thank you very much.